Let's shift focus to our markets. The two-day Indian Pharma Alliance Conference concluded on Friday. It was attended by some key pharma companies as well as key officials of the US FDA. Ekta, you attended it. What are your key takeaways from that conference?
Well, it wasn't just key officials from US FDA. There was a representation across the board.
Right.
So it was US FDA, it was the UK MHRA, it was the EU regulators, plus the Indian regulators who were present. So it was across the board and not just the US FDA officials. But nonetheless, there were a lot of representation from the top 6 companies. We had the likes of Dilip Sanghvi there, we had the likes of Mr. Pankaj Patel, and as well as the head of Torrent Pharma, Nilesh Gupta of Lupin, and Umang Vohra of Cipla. So it was a well-represented event from both the corporate or the company side as well as the regulatory side. The key takeaways was, and we had a lot of conversation with the likes of Dr. Reddy's, etc., which was outside the event, which was not necessarily on the podium, where they did mention that, for example, if in case there is something about Trump that comes up, the most impactful we could possibly expect is the Medicare negotiation directly with companies, because that is going to impact prices of generic drugs as well as branded drugs. Now, why does this become important? Because just on the 28th of Feb, which is tomorrow, we're going to have Trump addressing Congress for the first time, and he is going to take up healthcare policies in this particular speech as well. So this will be something which will be important to watch out for. Border tax, most of them were of the opinion that we still don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be difficult to all of a sudden just wake up one day and shift manufacturing to the US. And overall, it might just be still more lucrative for companies to manufacture in India, pay the border tax, and then supply it into the US, because eventually, it might not be conducive for Trump to do that, because it would go against the policy of having lower generic prices, because eventually it would just be a pass-through. So that's another key factor to watch out for in terms of border tax. Overall, all of the companies reiterated that they want to be on top of the heap when it comes to regulatory compliance, because obviously generic pharma from India is such an important part of many markets such as Europe and the US. So that was one of the other key takeaways to watch out for. Separately, I'd be watching out for Zydus Cadila today. In today's trading session, they've received an approval for a particular drug which is used for pneumonia and infection. Not that great in terms of a drug, but important from the context that their Moriah facility just got 0483s, and it seems as though now you can see US approvals picking up, though we don't know whether this is actually from the Moriah facility or not, but things are looking good for that company.
All right, Ekta, incremental positive for Zydus Cadila, and thank you for that comprehensive wrap of the key takeaways of the pharma conference. But we'll